Okay, Tiffany, let us know how it's going. Okay, can you hear us? Hi, Wendy. Can you hear us? Woohoo! Okay.
All good.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just do what we need to. Okay, so I don't even know where to begin with these questions, but I know where to begin. My questions that I got from Read Aloud Revival. That's why I have them here. Okay, so this is a true story.
Yes.
Did she say I can do this? Like, is that something that you could hear her saying, or did she actually have something somewhere that you saw that she could do it?
We don't know if she actually said that. I mean,
it's a little fictionalized.
It is. In that sense, it's fictionalized, but so it's drawn from, as you said, I could hear her saying it when I'm reading about it, because you think about the odds that were somewhat stacked against her. Mm-hmm. Particularly when the men, at the time she got the job, it was a civil war, and they needed women to do a lot of jobs that men had been doing. Mm-hmm. But when the men came back from the war, of course, they wanted their jobs back. And there are so many log entries that are not included in the book, but so many where she includes a lot of information about being pushed against and pushing back.
Okay.
So she would have said it. I'm confident, I can do this.
Yeah. And then, and she also had struggles.
She sure did.
You said on this pier out to the beacon light, there was many times where she had to step over passed out people.
Oh yeah, she'd have to step over drunks on her way out because, the lighthouse was situated in an area where really the only other residents, you can call them that, were the guys who came in on the boats, on the ships. And the other struggle, of course, was the weather. And if you know anything about the Great Lakes, Google Michigan City Lighthouse and look for particularly the winter pictures, and you will see what she was up against just weather-wise.
Wendy, she's from Bemidji. She asked if it's based in Indiana or Michigan. You missed that part. Yes, we can tell you that.
Michigan City is the name of the city. It's actually in Indiana, and it's on Lake Michigan. So it's a little confusing.
So there you go. So the beginning of the story says she talks about living in Indiana.
Yep.
And I think you say somewhere in here, Lake Michigan in Indiana. Yeah. Yep. Very confusing. But yes, that's a good question. Okay, so while we were reading, when you showed us or talked about the beacon light becoming broken, or, How did they deal with that? Because I don't think she would do that, right? She wouldn't fix it?
She would. She always had constant communications with the lighthouse board and the lighthouse inspector, and some of it by mail, some of it by telegraph. And there were instances when ships would run into the catwalk and just take it out. Mm-hmm. Storms would take it out. And so there were times when the beacon light could not be lit. But her main light, the light in the lighthouse, was always lit. She never failed to light that light.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So no wonder when that one time when it
crashed.
Yeah, she was she's just okay, we gotta get the main one can't go out.
Right.
Because there's no secondary one.
Yeah.
Okay. So then her people said, we're going to switch the light. Mm-hmm. So what happened with that? How did that come about? Was that just because it was outdated?
At the very end, you mean, when she finally retires? Yeah, at that point, and in that sense, it's a nice book for teachers to use to talk about technology. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, she'd been at that light for more than 40 years. Mm-hmm. So by, 40 years later, by 1904, when they decide they're going to put in a different kind of light, they still needed a lighthouse. Mm-hmm. Michigan City is still a very active port, but they wanted something with a fog whistle and something with that just had more, I guess, safety features for the ships that were out on the lake.
That took twice as much energy.
Yeah, it took. Yeah, I mean, they had coal furnaces now that needed to be stoked, and so at that point, it was not unusual for lighthouses to hire assistants and have a whole crew of people. And in fact, the docents at the museum joke that when Harriet retired, it took 3 men to replace her.
One to run the. Did you get the screenshot? I'll back up. There. Sorry. Too close. You're I can't help. There. Is that better? Screenshot it, Wendy. Go for it. So if it was 3 men, what were their 3 jobs? Okay, so her job was did it suddenly become like, okay, so she had to collect the oil and put the oil into the lights.
Yep.
But then when she left, they changed it. So why did it take 3 men to do what she did?
The addition of the fog whistle meant that they had to have this coal-fired furnace, and they put an addition on the lighthouse. They made room for an assistant. I mean, we can all argue about whether they really,
Right.
I like what the docents say, that it took 3 men to do the work that Harriet was doing.
Yeah. And so where did she get her whale oil? Because Lake Michigan is dead center. It's very landlocked except for the lake. There's no whales. There are no, in case you ever are wondering, there are no whales in Lake Michigan. My son is very afraid of sharks. And so we always have to tell him there are no sharks in Minnesota. So there's also no whales.
She got her whale oil and all of her other supplies delivered by ship. And there was always a spring delivery and oftentimes a second delivery during the year. And they would bring, all the supplies that she needed.
Okay.
But there were also many times where something would break or something needed to be replaced, and then she, or the lamp wasn't functioning properly, the lighthouse lamp, and so she would, you see in her notes, in her log entries, that she would telegraph the lampist, or she would let the lighthouse inspector know that, there were, at one juncture you could tell somebody must have been rating her oil.
Okay.
Because it was, her supplies were dwindling far faster than she was using them.
Okay.
And so, and she would have to contact the lighthouse inspector and say, I need more.
That's awesome. To be not responsible to get it, but not responsible to make sure that it got there. Do you know what I mean? I need this. Get it for me. Yeah. She got to tell that to men in an age that most people didn't. I need this. If you don't want ships to crash, get it for me. Can you imagine how prepared you'd have to be? You couldn't just order online. Exactly.
Yeah. No Amazon drone.
Right. That's awesome. So then they changed to lard oil.
Yes.
When did they do that?
Oh, I don't remember exactly.
Okay. That's not helpful.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
I'll find out and get back to you. But really, the different kinds of oils that they used, it mattered. There was another woman lighthouse keeper on Lake Michigan, and I'll have to look this up for you too, which light it was. But she, at the time she was tending her light, they used kerosene. And
that's my phone.
She ended up dying in a terrible fire because the kerosene was stored right in her lighthouse.
Oh my word!
And so
you can't really run away from that kind of explosion.
There were all kinds of dangers. I mean, this was not a frou-frou job.
Yeah. Now, lots of people, including men, are doing frou-frou jobs now. There's too many frou-frou jobs.
Yeah.
The obesity problem that we have in our society? It's because there are too many frou-frou jobs. That's really what it is. Imagine, she was sick, she was tired, she still had to get up and walk and crash against waves. And this is the problem. We
use outdoor plumbing?
That too. Now, if we all used outdoor plumbing, we'd all be healthy. Okay, so let's see here. I had one other question, but I don't think I remember. So let's go to a different discussion because I really like this book. I really recommend this book. I like it because I just heard it. And I think it's a fantastic book. And the pictures are perfect to go with the story. They're very old-fashioned pictures, but they're an updated look.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
She really did. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Oh, I was going to look. I will look in it while you do this. But
okay.
Amy's going to share with us some of her favorite books, and you're going to take them from me.
Right. And this is not an easy task because I love books.
We should probably talk about that. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. And Anne just provided us with a copy of this one. This is my first book, Northwoods Girl, by the Minnesota Historical Society Press.
Yes, and it's so cute.
Anyway, just so you know. Okay.
And it doesn't have any voices in it, just noises. so you can read it without feeling like you have to do fancy voices. But you can make fun noises because I think the frogs ribbit.
The frogs peep and the geese honk. And
Yep.
Yep. All right, so we'll start with picture books. As I said, this is not an easy task for me, so we just quick grab some off of the shelves here at this amazing bookstore. We love Addendum.
We do.
All right, so first one, because apparently this is a thing. Everybody has to include a David La Rochelle book.
Yes.
Which is so easy to do.
Because they're so amazing.
They're so amazing. I love this book. How Martha Saved Her Parents from Green Beans.
I love this
It's
book.
hysterical. What do our comments say?
Oh, they're not to us. They're to each other. That's
good.
awesome.
All right.
Feel free to share, everybody. We want everybody to know Aimee and her story.
I love every one of David's books, but this one, having grown up not being a big fan of green beans myself, this is a terrific book for kids who maybe don't like their vegetables or, who just want to be hero for the day and save their parents.
Or would rather eat a nice leafy salad.
Exactly. All right. Another one, huge favorite of mine.
Woo!
Just dropped.
Well, it's apropos that Maureen picked
Sorry.
it up.
Worm loves worm. This is, what can you say? I mean,
It's just cute.
It's wonderful. It's just,
cute.
I mean, number one, worms as the characters. I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
Obviously, J.J. Austen
Right,
does.
apparently.
And I love the backstory on this one. J.J., I don't know if you've heard it, but he said that he had, they had some neighbors who I believed his son referred to as aunts, and two women who lived together.
Mm-hmm.
And his son, when he was about the age of 4, said, well, are they married? Aren't Aunt so-and-so and so-and-so, they're married, right? And JJ had to say no. And the boy said, well, why? And JJ said, well, because we don't allow that. And his son said, well, that's dumb. And JJ put him to bed and thought, that is dumb.
And he wrote a story.
So he wrote Worm Loves Worm. But the other thing I love about this, and Maureen, come here, get in the picture. I just encouraged my daughter
Hi, everybody.
to read this one because she's planning a wedding. And the message from this book that I love is, who cares how everybody else does it? You just do it the way you want to do it and have fun.
Yes. So
Okay.
she's planning on having worms at her wedding.
Absolutely.
If you don't like worms, don't go.
Just send a gift. No.
To Mom.
And then, of course, I had to pick a nonfiction one. Love this one. Scaly, Spotted, Feathered, Frilled. It's by the amazing Catherine Timish, who does research like nobody's business. This is a dinosaur book. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? And the art is truly amazing. So it's got all the stuff that teachers want from the standpoint of timelines and, facts, but really cool dinosaur pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was at my son's kindergarten class, and I read to them on Wednesdays for their library. And so we were picking out books, and there was this one little boy, and I was like, buddy, you got to the count of 5. Actually, count down from 5 to get a book. Everybody else is ready. So I counted down. And he at 1, he grabbed one. He's like, I've read this one. And I was like, okay, he's like, I just want a book about real stuff. So this would be
this is a book about real stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. I was doing a school visit at a STEM school, and we were talking books, and the kid said, well, okay, but we just like nonfiction. So what do you got there? That's cute.
And then I'm all about fiction. Give me the stories.
I love them both.
Yes.
All right, so, in fact, a good nonfiction recommendation, The Secrets of Sand. Actually, a great book.
For grown-ups or kids.
Exactly, grown-ups or kids, and it's just one of the women who works at the Science Museum is a co-author and you will never look at a beach the same way again.
You'll think, oh, I'm really stepping on glass.
Yeah, or little crustaceans. It's just cool. And beaches are just beautiful and also different, depending on the geology that forms.
Yeah. Well, if you're up by the Great Lakes, at least by Lake Superior, it's not sand. It's pebbles and stone.
Yeah.
I used to live up there for like 2.5 years.
Where?
2 Harbors.
Oh, I love it up there. All right, so
that fog whistle. Sorry, I keep interrupting her. That fog whistle.
Yeah.
We heard it all the time.
Yes,
Foghorn.
Yeah.
There's a foghorn. Okay, go on.
Okay, middle grade. I was. It's so hard for me to narrow down middle grade because I just love middle grade. But here are a few. anything by Lynn Jonell works for me. And so if you've got a young reader or if you are reading aloud, this one is the first in a series, Aimee and the Incredible Shrinking Rat. And she's just got several that go in this.
She's from Minnesota.
She is.
And she has a series called Hamster Magic. And it's about 4 kids, which my kids like because I have 4 kids. And they all get these like magical things for a short amount of time. It's really fun.
She's so imaginative.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So that's a rat story.
It is. But
he shrinks, so I guess that's good. I haven't read that one. Can you tell?
This one I just picked off the shelf because I've read another one of his, and now I know I have to read this one. This is called Peter Nimble and His Fantastic Eyes, and it's by Jonathan Oxier, if I'm saying that right. And the one that I read by Jonathan that I thought was just great is called The Night Gardener. So if you have kids who like a little bit of creepy, but not too much creepy.
Kind of like, is it like, he's from here. The Ghoulish song.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander. What is it?
Will Alexander.
Yes, Will Alexander's. Because his are kind of creepy.
Kind of just enough creepy to keep them really engaged.
But not have nightmares.
Yeah. So I love the Night Gardener, and this one looks like a great one. The other one I'd put in that category that I just finished this past weekend is called The Mothman's Curse.
By the same guy?
No, by Christine Hayes. And it's a debut novel by her, and it's, you have to read it. It's good. Okay. And great kid protagonists.
They're loving you. Those hearts mean they like what you're saying.
I think they just love you, but we'll take it.
No.
And then one other middle grade recommendation. And again, this one I have not read, but I picked it because I've read a couple others of hers. This one's called Splendors and Glooms by Laura Aimee Schlitz. And I picked it, as I said, only because it's the one of hers that they have here at Addendum. But 2 of hers that I've read that I think are great. One is called The Hired Girl. Probably for an older middle grade reader, young YA reader, but it's
like 5th grade.
Yeah, and it's historical fiction, but written in diary entries. And I think it's the kind of thing where kids get immersed in the story and they don't even realize how much they're learning about history.
Oh, I love those
very
kind of
cool.
stories.
And the other one that Ms. Schlitz wrote.
Schlitz,
really
not Schmitz.
The other one that Laura Aimee Schlitz wrote.
Sorry.
That I really liked.
Subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. We'll make it work.
Was called The Drowned Maiden's Hair. And again, really good for maybe 4th, 5th grade.
What one's that one about?
Yeah, well, it's also historical. Great old lady characters in it, and a young girl who ends up having to tell a whopper of a lie to live with the old ladies. And
that has something to do with the drowned maiden?
All kinds of stuff unfolds. Yeah. Anyway, so I could go on and on with recommendations, but I won't. So.
Well, maybe we'll have maybe one day I'll have everybody that I can get together, and you guys can just talk books, and I'll just film it.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, let's see. We highly recommend you go get Miss Colfax's Light. If you go get it right now, you'll be like one of the first.
Yeah, it's hot off the presses.
It's like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just got these books like Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Like you did.
Yeah. I just got them.
You were like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to have it.
We were cutting it close. Yeah.
So, yes, this one is the book that just came out, but Northwoods Girl has been out for a while. You could get both of them. One's like contemporary-ish, timeless, and one's historical fiction, which in my mind is timeless.
Yeah.
It's not fiction, historical biography, which is great. This is a historical. Where will it be sold? Anywhere books are sold.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say that.
That's true. Bookstores, online, or directly from Sleeping Bear Press.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And you probably can go to your website, and there's probably a link.
There is. Yep.
Aimee is spelled like the French way, Aimee. Mm-hmm. And Bissonette is put a couple S's, a couple T's, some
one N.
One N. And the show notes for this will be up too. So, you can always click on Book Hans and find the show notes for this too. It's been so fun having you.
She's so boring.
I'm just excited for this worm wedding that's coming up.
Yeah, well, we are too. Yeah.
Oh, she might need to tell her firefighter husband that. I've just invited the whole United States, but you know. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow because tomorrow is the official launch date. Yay. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. You're just so fun.
It's so fun to be here. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.